Hey, everybody. This is Tony George along with my good buddy Sean Salisbury, fresh off a 2-0 day yesterday with the free picks. Of course, catch Sean at iHeartRadio on the Sean Salisbury Show each and every day. And Sean, we're talking NBA tonight, and we're talking the surprising, well, maybe not surprising, Chicago Bulls and Atlanta. And it's interesting because both these teams, although Atlanta this year, changed coaches during the season to Nate McMillan. Billy Donovan took over at Chicago, and when we're talking about this game, you can't ignore the coaching jobs that both these guys have done at these programs since they arrived, Sean.
100% correct. And both of them with long experience too, obviously. And, you know, they both come highly regarded. And sometimes another chance is even though you've had success, and a lot of people, when Nate's been going through this in particular, didn't like the fact that he wasn't, wherever he's been held in such high regard. And you cannot overlook the fact that the impact, and I believe, Tony, in basketball, we talked about the impact of a coach in college basketball.
Yeah.
I think the impact, and I know play callers in football and the baseball manager, no disrespect, may have the least amount of impact on a game because he's not really hands-on like you can be. Guys hitting and pitching, and when you make decisions to make a change. But for in-game action, I think basketball combined probably has the most impact by their coaches. And you're exactly right. Coaches do matter. Teaching matters. And both of these guys are doing one hell of a job of it and have their teams playing pretty decent basketball.
Yeah, I think the Chicago Bulls are probably still under the radar screen as evidenced by this line tonight. They are a 2-point underdog. I had them last night in a lay-in 4 and a 9-point win against Toronto for a freemium play. The game before that, they beat Indy by 16. They had an 8-point win over the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Harden didn't play in that game, but it's the Brooklyn Nets, and They got plenty of star power. And the game before that, they went out to Utah and got beat, but only by 7, and were in that game the entire game. And the addition of Vukovic here for them in the middle has been huge. He's with 24 and 11 last night against Toronto. He's had 4 double-doubles his last 7th game. Now Chicago has a rim protector along with Zach LaVine on the outside. Markkanen's doing a great job for him as well. They got a 1-2 punch at scoring here, Sean. And again, Billy Donovan, I don't know what he must have had some sort of some conflicts with management at Oklahoma City for them to get rid of him. He was a good coach. You don't get rid of your entire team and trade everybody away free agency and then get rid of one of the better coaches in the NBA, in my opinion. And I think that's what happened here a little bit.
Yeah, Tony, Billy's been good at every level. Now, didn't win the title that they to, obviously, when he was at Oklahoma City. And the interesting thing about that is, they've taken away superstars from him when he was there, right? Like you had mentioned. Yeah. And at that point in time, I remember when Billy, we talked about it a lot here in Houston because of the division, right, with the Oklahoma City and the Rockets. Is a lot of people thought, well, wouldn't it be natural for Billy to go back and get a big-time college job because of what he did at the University of Florida and one hell of a run there. But once you've made that switch to the NBA and have had success, it's hard to want to go back because then you get grown men, you're not recruiting, you don't have to go into a 17-year-old's home and deal with AAU, all that stuff, and you get to coach them up and let them do it, and a lot of times they police themselves. Billy's he's a damn good coach, pretty damn good disciplinarian, and understands the X's and O's without, I think, overly meddling, which can be the case for a college guy who's had his hands on so much, right? You got to learn to adjust as well. He's doing a really, really good job. I'm a big fan, and I think that, Billy Donovan's one of the, if he ever wanted to go back to college, but he's having some pretty good success. The next level for him is taking that college national championship and turning it into an NBA title. They're not there yet, but he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think if just a side note, I think if when Roy Williams stepped out North Carolina, I think if Billy Donovan or Brad Stevens either would have called the athletic director and said, I want to come back to college, they would have hired either one of them in a heartbeat. That's for
right.
sure.
Yet, and now they get a Hubert Davis who will do a good job. But it's
Yeah.
we're dealing with two good coaches that understand this game, and
Yeah.
there should be some scoring. You mentioned Zach LaVine. There's some guys who can put the ball in the bucket. Do you think Zach LaVine gets the credit he deserves in this league, Tony?
No.
I was thinking about.
No.
I mean, a high flyer who, when he first came in out of UCLA, we thought can score, but a dunker and an explosive guy to the rim. He's turned this into a guy that you blink and he'll hang 35 on you like that. I'm actually looking forward. This is an underrated game on the schedule. And remember how it goes with back-to-backers, brother. Chicago pulling off a big win. Now they got to deal with this one. And I'm anxious to see how they go on. And they've been playing pretty good basketball.
I'll tell you why I like Chicago in this game. I'm going to tell you, I'm putting out the Bulls here tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. At the end of the day here, you take a look at the injury list for Atlanta, and it is substantial.
Right.
Their last home game was 2 days ago. They lost by 18 against Memphis, and they let them have 131 points against them. Gallinari, Capella, Hunter, Collins, all out tonight. That's over 40 points and about 15 rebounds. And Trae Young, as good as he is, Atlanta's not built for him to carry this team like this, and Nate McMillan has more of a team concept than the previous coach who said, Young, you go down there and throw everything up you touch, and let's just hope that one of the bigs can get down there. That's why he brought Capella in to rebound and have some sort of paint presence. Well, with him out, that's not working. And McMillan, while he's done a great job there, they've won more than they've lost with him. I think this is too much to ask tonight. And, the Chicago Bulls, great on the road this year, 5-0 against the spread their last 5 games. Sean, I'm not going to get off that wave. I'm going to ride it with LaVine and company here tonight to get it done just because Atlanta is shorthanded. And it does look like a trick line. Why are they getting 2 when they clearly are playing better than the other team and they have a better defense and probably an equal coach? But I'm going to go ahead and drink the Kool-Aid and take the Bulls here tonight. The total in this game, by the way, Sean, is 228. And this is interesting because the last 4 games, Chicago's averaged 221 on offense and Atlanta 238. And yet you got a total around 228 there. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Bulls here. I'm going to go ahead and take the points and drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you know what? I'm if Atlanta was healthy with Chicago coming off, their most recent game and to travel again, I would be leaning toward. It's going to take a 50-pointer for Trae Young, I think, for them to hang, if that makes any sense. And sometimes we get caught up in, I'm not a big game-to-game momentum guy. I am a game in any sport. I'm an in-game momentum guy, but I also believe there's a believability and a confidence that goes with this. And you lose a lot of backboard work, and you lose a lot of rim protector work, and you lose a lot of scoring and guys. I mean, that's a lot for one guy to handle. I like Chicago in this game too. Overall, they're playing better basketball right now, and depth may be an issue depending on the injury situation. I think Chicago continues the good play. I'm with you on that. I'll take it.
There you go, folks. His name is Sean Salisbury again, iHeartRadio, each and every day over there on his podcast, which is his radio show there in Houston. And by the way, take advantage of the free $60 we got for you, the link in the description below, and get over to Docs and get yourself hooked up, and be sure and check out Sean and I's videos. Mr. Salisbury's hitting about almost 70% with his picks, encouraged by me, of course.
Well, that's I'm a good pupil. I'm a good pupil.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. Be sure and tune in. We got a baseball pick for you here, and Sean's with us 3 days a week with his selection. So we appreciate you tuning in, and check out our baseball pick today as well.